Yesterday, I went back to a local library and I realized I came at the wrong time. So I do not think the web, when I searched up their schedule, put it correctly. So I was not able to enter. But nonetheless, I learned a few things in this adventure. And I talked shortly to a boy and girl, and they said, yes, I was closed. I came pretty late. And I went outside and I hung out for a bit sitting down at a table. But then again, I saw another different woman who was on her phone and I thought, let's go talk to her. She sounds interesting. But that social inertia of fear came back again. So to help ease it, I walked around the block in the streetlights to help calm myself down, preparing myself to go only to realize that she just left. So she was on her phone, so she seemed available, but I guess I missed that chance. But I thought I found one of my future friends as I was walking down the block this time, but I'm really not sure. I have no idea if it was them. But later, I decided to just walk around to another local county park, and that fear came in again. There was this group of moms this time, like two women, and I knew I was not going to talk to them for long, but that social fear came back again. And that social fear of judgment, like what could they do or what could they imagine of me? So I fiddled around for about like 10 minutes until I finally put the courage to go up and speak to them. That for a few seconds, the conversation worked, and they allowed me to sit down with them, but they did hesitate for a bit. And I call this social inertia because I have not been able to talk to people for a long time. So I had to build up the momentum from scratch, which is why I was able to hold such a conversation with them. But they were curious of why I was there. So I said my friends didn't show up today. So they asked a little bit about me, about my interests, my school years, and I told them about parenting and like what it is like to be a mom. I asked, and they said it's a 9 out of 10 difficulty. And they said to me that I'm implicitly young. And that time will be a very long time until I myself become a father or end up adopting children myself. But they also told me that yes, people do wake up, parents do wake up at night just because their babies are crying. But that's only like a phase that they said. Anyways, our conversations were mostly about present day logistics and challenges of parenting from one's husband who wanted to go out with the boys, and the woman said she doesn't want to control what the man does, but she says he should tell her what happens and to say things when things are planned. The other woman was also talking about flight tickets and apparently a birthday party going on. That one doesn't want to have a birthday party because her daughter complains that the room's going to be scrimmaged over by the attendees and the children. And now the flight thing, that's its own problem because it was planned without one of the people. I noticed this because in trio conversations, I don't get that same amount of talking chance as it is in even conversation due to uneven numbers. But they gave me some good advice and even said one of their toddlers, who was Camila, keeps riding in the playground sand and they keep messing themselves up. She said that she's going to get her a shower. And she told me how difficult it is to raise children in that example. There was also another kid who asked my name. But one could say that these are mostly present day challenges. There was also something about reading, I believe, where to get a cool reward. So I'll try to go deeper into their past in terms of conversation out of curiosity. And they kept speaking of their difficulties, their happenings, and what it is like in their marriage. And they said that if they did not have a baby, they would be at the bar right now with their husbands, and if they were not raising kids. They said that specifically about the high school years, one only had three friends out of their core friend group who managed to make it and that they still talk to today. And the other one did not have any friend group who managed to survive. So they were also pretty surprised about each other. And they're also sports fans, guys, Dodgers. And in this interaction, I can't tell other details because some of that is private, just to them. But when they left, they said that when it comes to parenting, it's going to be a long road until then. Eventually, they left with their own toddlers. And I felt this interaction was mostly neutral but good. I showed up anyway, but I was not able to hit further down in the conversation because of the age gap. Like, they're like 30 years old, we're 16. But I find it great because we have social momentum to build off of. But the big challenge, nonetheless, here that I saw beyond them is that the idea of established friend groups. I noticed in the conversation, they kept on going with their flow and how they went, even though it was only temporary. I saw that same pattern in friend groups that I was in as a sophomore, from one large girl friend group that I was with earlier that was pretty. I had also a lot of boys who messed around, to other smaller bracketed groups who were also near the school library who I also hung out with, to PE groups, and also the girl group who triggered the reflection acts of whom I hung out with, and to other uncles too. And I noticed that when in a lot of these conversations, when I did try to pitch a conversation or do say something, they eventually continued on their own flow. And that itself is not bad, but it presents more challenges upward to me specifically because I have to break down my social fear too about them, but also integrate into their local conversations, which is a double challenge for someone like me. But I say for them that it is a natural but an unconscious social maneuver, so to speak. So that means when I do enter some groups in the future, they might not immediately realize like my goal is to actually enter into the group, not just to visit them for a day. So that's the thing right there that we're going to have, I think, even entering into adult life too, eventually when it comes to workplace politics or something. But that is a challenge, at least for me, since we're building social skills from scraps of bricks. We're playing this one a little bit solo. Converting that into a small house, that's going to take time compared to a big group. So beyond that, I'm going to say that we are back in social season, so to speak. So I'll be doing much more this month later on, just like the work that I did last year as a sophomore. So be tuned for those videos, guys.